The director of Deadpool and Wolverine has one of the craziest filmographies of all time. Let me show you.
I might want to look away for this.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more pop culture content. Let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm sure we all really enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine. It was such a great movie, and if you want, you can watch my review of it over on my channel. But aside from it being a great movie, there is just a great story here about the development over probably 20 years of the director, Shawn Levy. You may or may not be familiar with Shawn Levy's work, but him directing the R-rated Deadpool and Wolverine, which has incredible fight scenes, is really violent and gory at points with lots of blood, really feels like far and away from where Shawn Levy began his career. Because funnily enough, two of my favorite movies from when I was a kid were directed by Shawn Levy, and neither of them are anything like Deadpool and Wolverine. But that being said, I can actually see how each film in Shawn Levy's filmography step by step gets him to the point of Deadpool and Wolverine. In this video, I wanted to just do a quick walkthrough of the movies that he has directed over the last 20 years or so, and how I think each of them bridges a gap to eventually get to Deadpool and Wolverine in 2024. And it all starts in 2002 with a fantastic kids movie called Big Fat Liar.
You are lying through your teeth, you little demon.
I wish I were, Phyllis. Call my dad if you want. His number's 555-0147.
If you haven't seen this, you're probably not a 90s kid, but this movie was genuinely one of my favorite movies of all time as a kid, and I actually think it holds up really well to this day. It was one of the first feature film roles for Frankie Muniz, who is most famous for his role in Malcolm in the Middle. Life is unfair. And he starred alongside Amanda Bynes, who was a Nickelodeon star at the time. Put them together with the villain of the movie, Paul Giamatti, and you just had this amazing kids comedy that just had a scope unlike any other.
Well, I mean, I think they loved it, don't you?
Paul Giamatti plays Marty Wolf, a film director who steals a story from Jason Shepard, Frankie Muniz, and makes it into a hit film. But Frankie Muniz's character Jason wants to get him to admit that he stole the story and goes to great lengths to make it happen.
I stole Jason Shepard's paper and turned it into a big fat liar!
And you may have seen online memes of Paul Giamatti being completely blue with red hair. All of them are from this movie.
Oh my God!
To me, Big Fat Liar is the quintessential kids movie for 90s kids, and I've probably seen it over 100 times. I can quote it word for word. I still quote it to this day.
Sorry, I can explain.
And a year later, Shawn Levy would go on to direct another movie that became an absolute favorite of mine as a kid, and that movie was Cheaper by the Dozen.
Nigel hit Kim with a dart, and I assume he will be punished.
Jake, get me a Band-Aid, okay? Here, go stir. You like to stir. Here, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look, see if it's okay. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
So little did I know when I was about 10 years old that two of my favorite films were directed by the same person. Cheaper by the Dozen starred Steve Martin as a father of 12 kids and his absolutely chaotic life.
I'm so sorry. I mean, I will call. My wife is out of town. Hey. Come here.
Can I kill Jake now?
No, you finish washing the car first.
It was a family-friendly, fun comedy movie. Family-friendly, fun comedy movie. I started on that so many times. I probably put the perfect cut in there. And it was probably a little bit of a higher profile film than Big Fat Liar.
Is Jake your only child?
No, we have 12.
I couldn't keep her off me.
And Shawn Levy would work again with Steve Martin in The Pink Panther in 2006, which was another fun comedic movie. I genuinely think this was a very funny reboot of The Pink Panther, starring Steve Martin. And at this point, I guess Shawn Levy has made a lot of family-friendly films that are kind of like G or PG rated, but also incorporate like large groups of people, whether it be the Cheaper by the Dozen kids or big sort of sprawling scenes like the chase scene in Big Fat Liar. And he then moves into Night at the Museum.
I don't want a battle of humor.
No, you don't.
This is an iconic 2000s family movie, and I feel like it's the culmination of everything that Shawn Levy had done. working with big groups, working with children, working with comedic actors, and working in a family-friendly space. And it was great. And here is where I start to see how all of these seeds build towards Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, hello.
In the 2010s, he works on Date Night with Steve Carell, which is probably a more adult romantic comedy, and the next year on Real Steel with Hugh Jackman. And we all know he went on to work with Hugh Jackman again. He also directed 2 sequels to Night at the Museum, including one in 2014, then took 7 years away from feature film directing until finally coming back in 2021 with Free Guy.
Hello, officer. Rabbit?
Nice skin.
Thank you.
And of course, in Free Guy, Ryan Reynolds was the lead actor. So at this point, he's worked with Hugh Jackman and he's worked with Ryan Reynolds, and he would work with Ryan Reynolds again the next year with The Adam Project. Still very much in family-friendly territory, but also like expanding. Bigger names, higher budget films, franchises, movies where there are like higher stakes and higher expectations from people. And also dipping out of like realism in movies and moving into more science fiction and fantasy sort of genres. And in what seems to be an ongoing partnership with Ryan Reynolds, he ends up directing Deadpool and Wolverine in this journey from like small budget kids Nickelodeon style movie to a more grounded family film, followed by a like fantasy family adventure with Night at the Museum, into some more adult comedy stuff, and then back into that family friendly stuff, all the way into a blockbuster, Deadpool and Wolverine. And that's a 20-year career of this guy. I really think he's so impressive because to me, he is a master of the kids and family movie, because I loved his work before I even knew what a director was. I loved Big Fat Liar. I loved Cheaper by the Dozen. And in a way, I feel as though Deadpool, the character, and Deadpool, the movie franchise, is almost like a kid's movie for adults in a weird way. And what I mean by that is it's so like juvenile and fun and uppity and all of these things that maybe all these steps that Shawn Levy started off with helped him direct this blockbuster, high grossing film in 2024. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and what is your favorite Shawn Levy film? I'm genuinely struggling to decide between Cheaper by the Dozen, Big Fat Liar, and Deadpool and Wolverine, to be honest, okay? It is a really hard choice. Subscribe for more content like this, and support me on Patreon, patreon.com/RadioMike. I'd love to see a few Patrons coming through, supporting my channel, keeping the lights on here at Radio Mike Productions, and as well as that, I do a podcast. It'll either be here or here. I can never figure it out. I also do a blog. If you're a millennial or Gen Z and you want to read once a fortnight about pop culture, mental health, and anxiety and how they all correspond, definitely subscribe to my blog. There's a link in the description below. Check out all of my other content. I'm all over the internet doing stuff that I think is cool. That is pretty much it for this video. My name's been Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind, and I'll catch you next time.